Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Life Theories. We got Diana from Trailblazers of the Universe with us here, Jay from WWHealth and Journey of a White Feather, and me, Small Sarah Big Soul. And we are here to chat with you about spiritual awakening, raising your consciousness, and all the stuff that's going on the planet right now with the energy shift. What's going on, Diana? I know you said you put together a video on the topic today, so share a little bit about that with us.
Yeah, I put a YouTube video up and I put a little short on like TikTok up too. I always do both. So basically, we know full moon's about releasing, closing the cycles, like releasing, right? So with it being in Leo, we know Leo likes to shine bright, kind of like center of attention, also very generous, kind of lives more from their heart, right? But part of the shadow side of the Leo is sometimes the ego, or all that attention, being the center of attention and stuff, right? You can pride and ego can be involved. So what I kind of got, the download I got from him, kind of a little bit of research I did, is kind of like with this full moon, is kind of shining more from your heart space and not your ego so much. So, and especially with the frequency shifts going on the planet, like kind of not seeking so much not doing things so much to get validation or like just anything from an egoic perspective, like kind of living more from the heart space and kind of releasing anything that's stopping you from expressing yourself authentically, like from your heart. So what does that mean? It's different for everybody. So that's kind of just a quick summary of what of the video I made. I'm kind of noticing that too. And some of them, sometimes they say the war that's going on right now on the planet, right? Spiritual warfare. I hear someone said it's between empaths and narcissists, right? So I kind of agree with that at some level. I'm seeing that on many levels, even in my life. So I think that also comes into play with this too. Letting go of that pride and the ego so much. A lot of times we pass up on business opportunities, relationships, twin flame unions, whatever. The ego gets involved, man. We have trouble living from the heart space. Everyone's wounded, traumatized. And we're in a society, especially where I'm at the U.S., where everything is like so, even look at social media, everything is so like narcissist driven, like always about being a center of attention, looking at getting, everything is about like, a lot of it's from an egoic perspective, you know what I mean? So I'm working on expressing myself more authentically from the heart. Even the content I'm making, am I doing it just to get, because I think people are going to like this video? Or am I doing it because I actually feel passionate about doing this, want to help people more from a heart space? Not, oh, it's a topic I think people are going to like. Like that's an example maybe for me, or to do something, say in the algorithm or something, because this one is not going to be a searchable or something. Sometimes YouTube, I'll see a video I make isn't going to get a lot of views, but it was more my title. That's how I would title it, and I think it's interesting to me, and people who resonate with me would click on it. But are people going to go search on it or click on it naturally? Probably a lot of people know. So that's an example of that in my life that I see.
Yeah, that's a big one for me too. Like I find when I'm even just making Instagram posts, it's like the ego is like, oh, well, are people going to understand this? Are people going to think differently of me if I word it like this? Can I go into the spiritual stuff and have it be seen by the people I'd like to see it? Or is it going to get buried? And it's just that like that ego of like, is it good enough? Is it going to be seen where I want it to be seen? Is the message that I think so great actually going to be worth putting out there? And like the ego kind of takes over, and like it's a big thing, especially with social media posting. There's so many like aspects to it. And it's just like trying to win over that and like just post it for posting it and just do what you love for the sake of loving it and not worrying so much about what other people are going to think or what the algorithm's going to do with it, and just posting it because the right people will see it no matter what happens, and just being okay with that.
And that can be hard, especially when you've been on YouTube for a while, right? Even me, or and you see, man, I'm not getting many views on the, I need to talk about other stuff, but man, that's if it's not really something in alignment with what you want to talk about anyway, you're not going to attract the right people. It's funny. I've had some videos or even TikToks or YouTube, whatever, where I'd be like, one video, I'm like, man, I didn't get that many views, but here's what I noticed. I noticed someone commented and said, wow, this really helped me. It was exactly what someone needed to hear. It might And we don't know, just because people don't comment or like, we don't, doesn't mean you can help somebody. We're so driven by like the ego, like, oh, I need to see likes, comments,
Yeah.
that. So every once in a while, when I start to get that mindset, someone will comment and say, oh, this really helped me. I need to hear this, even if the views aren't that great or maybe even the retention. I look at analytics. I try not to overanalyze, but I do pay attention to, hey, what did better, what doesn't. But I know if you get the download, man, it's for a reason. If you have a passion, if you
Yeah.
feel very inspired to do something, what, even if it's
And
making a
that's,
post, it's for a reason. Someone needs to hear
yeah.
it, and the way we're all connected, like there's someone that helped, and I rather really help that one person, maybe even save someone's life, rather than try to appeal to a bunch of
Yeah.
people. You know?
And that's the thing too. You get the people that'll write back, that's everything I needed to hear today. But then you get the people that are so like taken by what you've said, they put the phone down and walk away. It doesn't mean that it didn't affect them.
Yeah.
It just means that they're taking what you said and working with it. And it's sort of like our 3D like world paradigm of like, oh, nobody's seeing it, nobody likes it, but that doesn't mean that it didn't impact somebody. How many
Yeah.
times have you scrolled through something, read something, or listened to a video, and it really, really impacted you with you or resonated with you, but you didn't think to scroll back up and hit the like button? That's happened to me so many times. The things that I notice I feel really resonating with, like I let it sink in. Like I sometimes don't think to scroll back up and hit the like button. Those are the things that I like the most. So like I kind of had to check myself and realize like if I'm doing that, people watching my videos are probably doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So I'm just being like okay with the fact that even though it resonates, people might not say something about it, which doesn't mean that it didn't resonate. It just means that you don't get to know what the outcome of that is. And that's where the ego kicks in. It's like, well, I want to know. It's like, you don't really have to know every single person that was impacted by your words. Just know that they helped. If you
Yeah.
got drawn to say them out loud or got the download and felt the draw to share it, then you know that somewhere someone out there is going to see it and resonate. So whether you get that comment or that like back doesn't mean it didn't hit somebody's heart.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, with YouTube in particular, I noticed like even videos like that where they get as many views, I got more subs from that video. It's because I impacted someone. It's like I actually, it was more personal, probably a message they needed to hear. I felt called. We're called to get people certain messages, and it's really interesting. I'll be like, okay, well, I got way more views on this other video, but it just shows how the ego works. But I got actually a few more subs from this one video that barely got any views. I didn't even get many comments on, so it's like you didn't impact someone that actually like subscribe. But yeah, but that's all the ego, the programming, and we're so taught to look at likes even when we post pictures. If you ever post a selfie yourself, right, on Instagram or something, like I'm not really like that now, but before I'd be like, oh, all these people didn't like my picture. Like, who gives a like? I mean, I thought it was a good picture. Like, why do you need the validation? But that's just, we're always taught to look outward. That's how the Matrix is, looking
Hey,
outside of yourself.
Here I am.
there's
Again,
See,
Jay.
you look fine, dude. You act like you look like
joking.
bad.
I am the rock star of this
Nah, you're
of
good,
this
man.
quartet. So yeah. Anyway, yes, I did my ritual last night. Yeah, just all right. Let's put it this way. We had to release and get rid of a lot of stuff. Read between the lines, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, it's a
Damn.
yeah. Yeah. What can I say? Yeah, we'll leave it at that. I'm trying not to laugh, but people read between the lines when you talk about flush it out.
Jeez.
Yeah, well, that's what it is. Anyway,
It is
but
what it is.
well, that's it's not just your mental type thing or your upstairs or your aura and everything. You got to it's your actual body systems of the body systems asking for a flush as well. You know what I mean? Whether it be eating
Mhm.
well and all those kind of things, just to get that lightness again. And yeah, we talk about health and all that kind of stuff. The full moon brings that as well. So if you're depending what you want to put into your body, you sort of work out how that food affects you. And there's nothing wrong with having a bit of crap. Don't get me wrong, but it's how much it's just balancing yourself out, and that's what I've been doing the last couple of days. But I did do we'll call it a ritual. Okay, here we go for all you witchy poo people out there. And opened the circle, closed the circle, put the fire on, started chanting and all that stuff. But basically, at the end of the day, because of the moon in Leo, I was told by my astrologer Michelle, over in God knows where you are in America, but love you to death. Thanks a lot for all the stuff you helped me with. It's basically that next step, that next level to connect to the universe, but also to enhance the work that we've been doing. And also, when you call in your guides and stuff like that, you're actually calling in your guides to talk to them, to assist you, and to say that you are on a certain level. So you're sort of speaking to them in some ways. So they understand that they're helping you all the time, but you're acknowledging their help, but also they're understanding that you are moving up spiritually, and moving up the ladder towards the universe. And it was pretty powerful. Got the crystals out and everything.
Nice. Yeah, I don't know what's been going on in sessions with me lately, but I've been really assisting people with purging somehow.
Can you
It
tell
doesn't
us what
really.
purging is?
Purging is it happens most often when you do plant medicines. So if you are, say, doing an ayahuasca ceremony, the purge is what happens after you ingest the ayahuasca. Your body will eliminate all of the toxins, all of the stuff that shouldn't be lingering in your body anymore, whether it be left over from like food or medications or just like energies. Your body will expel it, whether it comes out your butt or comes out your mouth, like via vomiting. You will expel stuff in a purge, and generally they're triggered by plant medicines like ayahuasca and things like that. um, you can also have an energetic purge during like energy work sessions as well. Some people will just have like emotional purges and start to cry, or get verbally upset and start to yell and scream. There's all different types of purging that can happen. The physical purge is the most common one when we're doing like plant medicines and like spiritual extractions and things like that. Um, but when you are doing a purge, usually like when it comes to like vomiting and like having a physical reaction to the purge and like actually physically eliminating things, um what can happen is or sorry, not what can happen, but like they usually happen like during plant ceremonies and like plant medicine ceremonies. But for me, I don't know what's been going on, but the last two sessions that I've done with people, and I don't know if maybe the full moon energy has anything to do with like helping assist me with this, but I've been able to tap into that purge energy and the ayahuasca energy. My friend that I did the session on has done ayahuasca several times, and he had mentioned to me there's like a plant goddess involved in doing ayahuasca, and she comes to visit during a lot of people's visions. And he said during a session with me, she showed up, and then he asked me to pass the garbage can, and he just sort of started dry heaving into the garbage can.
Oh wow.
And I didn't give him any plant medicine. I basically just started the session, and I could feel the energy flowing extremely powerful almost immediately. Like I had to step back from him and just sort of give him the energy from about 2 feet away from him. And then he started telling me all this stuff about the ayahuasca goddess being there. And I noticed a bunch of my other guides were in the room as well. And for the whole hour-long session, he just purged, and I assisted in that. And he's like, "Yeah, that was like an ayahuasca trip. What did you do?" Like, I just did what I usually do, but it turned into a session that I can't even explain. And I'm almost wondering if, like, with what Jay's saying, with the purging of this like full moon, if it has anything to do with that, because the last two sessions that I did were like this week. So, and both of them had very similar like physical purging effects to it. So I'm almost wondering if this energy, and what Jay's saying about the full moon is something that's like actually starting to affect the work that I'm doing and starting to like align me with the energies that help assist people like eliminate these types of toxins and energies from their system. There's a lot of like purging happening, like even in the last couple of days for myself, like I've felt um like just overwhelmed with emotion and just felt like I needed to sort of excuse myself so I could be emotional. And I've done that
Yeah.
twice. Like last night and the night before, I sort of put myself to bed a little bit earlier than I normally would. Just because I felt like I needed to like emote. I needed to like express my emotions. And some of it was just like, I kind of just needed to like do the lip quivery, like I'm about to cry, but I'm not actually crying. And it's just like, I just need to like, whatever this is, I need to let it express itself. And that's been going on the last 2 nights. And it's been like overwhelming. Like I've literally needed to like excuse myself from the room because it's like I don't know if I'm just going to start hyperventilating crying or if I'm just going to like have a little mini moment. Like I don't know what's going on, but there's a lot of like emotional purging I think happening in my life right now.
Yeah.
Um
Big time.
yeah, I'm
I
coming
don't
up
know.
on
Just that ritual last night. Wow. I don't know if anyone's doing rituals and stuff for full moons and stuff too. That's why. Yeah, it's it's uh it's great. Everything is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about anything, but just it's just the it's like what's the I guess it's just like yeah. I always use the analogy of when say you're out. We've been swimming in the sea for so long, with clothes on. You know how heavy it is, and then when you come out, you just relieve that the pressure's been taking off. Standing on sand, standing on ground, but you're still heavy with all that. You're still heavy with all the clothes on you, but you've taken away half your issue because you're not moving as much.
yeah.
And yeah, I don't know, just the way it all has been. Yeah, if you're all watching this, I would suggest if you're going to do any rituals and stuff like that, getting crystals out and all those kind of things. I mean, and what I did last night, I just went with what I felt. I got guided by my friend, but I went with what I needed, what I felt was right. To basically give you a rundown, I put 4 white crystals around the inner circle. I have my magic wand. Okay, I have a magic wand with two clear quartz on it. Then I picked the certain stones that I needed. Now I went with color. I didn't go with. I went with rose quartz, black obsidian, and a few others. I think red jasper and a few others. I think red jasper's a cancer one. It's a lot right up than my friend is. Anyway, I picked up those, put them in there, put them in the circle, and then I had some sage going and I had a white candle going at the same time. So you sort of connect. That's where I connected to the universe, and then I used a verse from who watches Charmed, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason why I watch Charmed. I have to go watch it again. I started with I opened the circle I opened the circle up and said thank you to for doing it because you have to actually open and close the circle, ladies and gentlemen. Don't think if you're going to play with Ouija boards or do rituals and stuff like that, you can't open and close circles. You have to, and whoever's in your circle at the time is in there. So, yeah, I got told that anyway. Yeah, I've heard a lot of horror stories from people not knowing how to open and close Ouija boards. Anyway, so I did that, and then I did the Archangel Michael, Archangel Uriel, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel. Who's the other one? Can't remember.
Raphael.
Raphael. There you go.
It's supposed to start with
Cool.
Raphael every time, by the way.
Is that what you used to start with him?
Yeah, in specific types of meditations, you always start with Raphael in the East, but I know in more like ritual, like witch ritual based practices, generally they start in the North. But when you're working with the archangels themselves, you always start in the east.
This is me having 150,000 different things in my head. Anyway, I didn't work on directions. I worked on the actual angel. It was called the bid. It was very. It was.
Just for future, if you're working with calling the angels in, always start in the east with Raphael.
So start. Is there any particular? So start with Raphael, and then who?
Raphael, Michael, Gabriel, and then Uriel. So it
Okay,
goes
well there you go.
east, south, west, north.
Right. Oh, okay. Rightio. There you go. Anyway, so I kept doing that, and then I had my little. I've been doing some work with after the Akashic records. My God, Jesus, it's been
Akarashic. Wait, what did you call it before? Like the way you said it, we were laughing. It was
esoteric.
Like esoteric. It's a mix of esoteric and Akashic, dude. I was laughing.
Akashic records. Yeah,
I had to actually edit out some of the video because I was laughing so much.
Oh well,
I know. I just see Diana giggling every time he says that.
If anyone has a problem with it, or come and have a chat to me, and we'll work it all out.
Come see
me. Anyway.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Jay.
As I'm staring at my shadow friend, he said, "Say what you want, my friend, because I have your back. Thank you very much." Anyway, but it was really powerful in the way. And I got told to call my Native American guides. Look, anyone who's talking about it's one ritual I haven't really done it before. With that, but it was very powerful because I had this where the moon, where at my house the moon sits right above it. It's like in a perfect spot. That's all I can say. It's in a perfect spot.
When you can see the moon here, it shines right in my window. It's awesome.
Oh, that's cool.
Sorry, I didn't mean to you.
No, not at all. So that's going from there. But look, I think working with and the other stuff I've been saying is just go with the flow, let things happen. So is it? Oh God! Okay, so I can't see. I don't work with the archangels a lot. I know their names, but I know one's with water, and I work with fly because basically what they told us to say. Listen, you come up, go with the flow, stop your fear, and just do what you need to do. Okay, speak your truth, and don't give your power away. That's pretty much what my Akashic record said. So that moved me into that ritual last night. I thought it was fantastic. I did it at midnight. As all white lighters and witches and all that stuff too. But it was great, and it had to be done. And we'll see we'll just sort of see how it goes from there, I guess.
Yeah, I'll send you a whole list of the angels, their symbols, their element, and their direction.
Oh, okay. The other one, sorry, Sarah, the other one I called him Metatron and Sapphron. Is that right? I haven't heard of it. Seraphon, yeah. Is it Seraphon? Okay, how do you say it?
Metatron always makes me laugh because it reminds me of like Transformers or something. But
I thought
it's freaking awesome.
Yeah, I thought that as well.
Metatron, that's dope.
Metatron, same thing.
Well, the first time I heard it, I was like, I couldn't stop laughing. I was like, is that seriously his name? And then
it sounds like yeah, exactly. It sounds like either Machine Man or Transformers or something like that. But
the other one's Sandalphon, the archangel of the crystalline grid of the planet.
That's why there's two grids. They're both with the grids, yeah. So
the Metatron is the crystalline grid of the sun, and
yes.
The Sandalphon is the archangel of the crystalline grid of the planet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do.
Well, that's what.
Oh, good.
No, you're right. You're right. Go. You're right. I've talked enough.
No, I was saying about Metatron because I have because I do some channelings and stuff. Certain meditations I've told Sarah about. And one of them there's always like Metatron involved. So I was always really drawn to Metatron in particular, so I was curious, learning more about. I thought that was interesting. It always comes up.
Yeah. Metatron and I are homies apparently. I don't know. He shows
Homies.
up. Yeah. It's like I'm homies with Jesus now too. It's a
Yeah.
thing. I know Jesus
And
and
was it?
Archangel of the Sun.
So who's that other guy? Will we say his name? Your other mate?
Which other mate?
Or any other rock star that you hang
Oh,
around with?
we're not gonna say his name. He shall remain unnamed
That's what
for
I.
the
That's
time
exactly
being.
why. Yeah.
But
And
yeah, no,
ladies and
he's
gentlemen,
been around.
yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's not me. So there you go. But we're trying to we're yeah. So I mean, you walk into this world with what you have to learn. You got your lessons, all that. But something we're put there for a reason. There's obviously we all know there's a greater reason why we're doing it, and we've gone through it and we've done the spiritual breakdown, spiritual awakening, however you want to put it. So Diana, you tell us a little bit about your what we're talking about. So you basically about embellishing what you used to do with the ego running freaking wild and what it's actually taught you. Because obviously you can see if you go Diana back 10 years ago, Diana, now you'd be going, out the bloody hell. Hey, what the bloody hell's going on? I used to wear bloody twice for you. What you wouldn't pick it. You go, you've got a bloody twin, mate, you know?
So wait,
What do you think?
what's your exact what's the exact question?
Well, okay, so I go off. I go off on tangents. So basically, what I'm saying, you have a look back when you were, a different person will put it.
Yeah.
And as you can see, your ego, you're run by your ego, and you're trying to, and we've all done it, trying to either impress others by, doing things without really looking within ourselves and looking out for that lesson and what really triggered us to get to that, like, me hating myself and wanting to be someone else when I dressed up. I want to be that dressed character all the time. And Sarah, what she did, doing rave parties and all that kind of stuff, because the doctor said so. I was told at a young age of what I was worth nothing. Do you think there was a trigger, a deep-seated trigger, now that we've done our work, that really got you into the lifestyle that you were in?
Yeah. Definitely unworthiness. A lot of it's inner child stuff.
Yeah. But is there a particular, you reckon there's a particular moment or anything like that, or do you reckon like it was a combination of things that happened when you were younger, or what do you think?
I think it's a combination of things throughout my whole life. Definitely start off probably inner child stuff with parents, unworthiness, stuff like that. Also seeing certain examples of things that I didn't understand, and now it makes a lot makes more sense. And then even some of the people I was hanging around with at a young age, I was sent to Catholic school, right? And I kind of rebelled against, I don't want to do all that shit. I was against that, so I started hanging with people. I started dating guys in my neighborhood that are going to alternative school. And, I was into all the bad boys. And then I was like, oh, I want to go get effed up. I was listening to certain music, where they're talking about doing drugs and stuff. I was like, I loved it. I already wanted to do all that stuff when I was, like, young. Like, I wanted to do everything. Like, already. I was very easily programmed. I just wanted to escape. But I think it's on a deeper level. It's like, the environment I was in, related to parents stuff, maybe was kind of toxic. They tried. They tried for what it was. I'm not. My mom, I think, tried the best she could, but I think I was absorbing a lot of what was going on with them, and just wanted to escape. And then being put in a Catholic school where I didn't want to be at, and I wanted to express myself, man. And I feel like I was being hindered all the time. And why I think I got into substance to begin with, honestly, I have such a high energy, right? I didn't know what to do with it. I had no channel for it. So I'm like, oh my God, this is too much. I don't want to be like this. Like, I don't know what to do. No one I'm around even thinks about this kind of stuff, or has all this high energy. I feel like I'm too much for everybody, or the energy is too much sometimes. And it's I think when your vibration's a little higher, sometimes you're everyone around you's really low. It's not that I say I think I'm better than anybody, but you feel an energetic difference. I was like, I can't connect with these people unless I go lower. And I also did want to people please them because I didn't feel worthy. So I wanted these guys to give me attention. That's inner child stuff, right? We go back to the emotional abandonment from my dad and stuff. That's probably a big part of it.
Sorry to cut you off there for a minute. Do you reckon now that you've done all this work, right? Do you reckon you consciously knew what you were doing? Like even back then, do you consciously? And this goes to both of you because
Oh,
I
we
think.
going deep.
Oh, am I going deep? Whoa,
I wouldn't
okay,
say
what do you-
consciously, like subconsciously, I was preparing myself to do all this stuff. Like that was what was needed. I had to go into the depths of that dark shit to be able to help people and do what I'm doing now. I couldn't do what I'm doing now if I didn't go through all that. Like even the emotional abandonment issues, the inner child stuff, the substance stuff, the toxic relationships, the empath. A lot of it also was just being an empath, absorbing stuff with my parents, the people around me. The issues they were going through. I was around people that had a lot of trauma, like the people I grew up with, and the people I mean, Catholic school was different. I had these little girls there that were different, but then the people I actually really vibe with more, they were people like in my neighborhood and stuff that were kind of got in more trouble. They were a little bit older. I would consider them like older souls. Eddie was one of them too, right? And like they were getting into substances. They were doing stuff. They were doing kind of out there stuff, but I was into that stuff. I was like, man, I vibe with these people. A lot of them had a lot of trauma and stuff, but. And then I think I just absorbed a lot, and then I got into whatever they were doing because I just I'm going with the flow. I kind of was like hippie-ish, like, oh yeah, go with the flow, man. Like, oh yeah, whatever vibes. Like,
sure,
I'm just gonna
whatever.
oh yeah, I'll try that. I'll do that. Yeah, let's do this. Ooh, look at that guy. I consider myself just more of a free spirit, honestly. And I felt more free with these people. I could just be myself. I didn't have to mellow myself down. Like, I didn't have to go to this Catholic school and like be all like pretend like be something I'm not. Like I just wanted to express myself, but I just kind of went a little bit of a darker path. I didn't know how to channel my energy. So for me, taking all these substances was the only thing that like put me in like kind of like put me down a little more. My energy and stuff, it kind of like suppressed a lot of. And then on the emotional trauma, I mean, there's so many different levels to this, but a lot of it is just absorbing the people that are around me. A lot of the stuff that my parents and people around me, and I think they were attracting me instantly because we are healers, right? In a way, different levels of healing, right? We have different, and I try to help them and stuff, but then I didn't have boundaries and I didn't know how to channel my energy correctly, so it kind of got all discombobulated. But in the long run, I mean, hindsight 2020, that all had to happen. Every single one of those things, as bad as it was, everything that's happened is like it all makes sense because now the people that are coming to me with issues, like. I went to a party last night, right? And I had someone just open up to me about some childhood trauma. Like, we're at a party, like, he said that in front of everybody, but you can tell, because I've been through more stuff, the person, I was like, man, you're saying this at a party. I mean, that's cool. I obviously need to express it, but, people come to me with really, like, I get some really darker stuff. I think that's what we do because they sense that. But I wouldn't be able to handle that if I didn't go through some of the stuff I went through and be around all those people like and mix all these different people and have even emotional trauma that I've had. I would not be able to do what I do, even make the content I have. All the content I have is pretty much a lot of it's just inspired, like downloads, like someone needs to hear this, like because I went through it. It's something that I felt at one point or dealt with, so there's a purpose, man. But I was like, damn, I went down on some dark twisted path. Like, did I really need to go that far? I guess I did, but damn, man, that's a lot. That's very detrimental to my physical, mental, emotional health. I mean, I'm still recovering. Like, even though I'm cool and everything, like, my brain, I mean, you have to understand what I was doing to my brain for all those years and my emotional state. Like, I put myself in a constant fight or flight, like, constant. I put myself in bad situation. I mean, like, I'm still a little bit, like, tense sometimes, like, I act cool and everything. I'm a lot better. I give myself credit, but I'm still trying to recover, like, from a lot of the stuff I did, to myself. It's hard. Some days it comes up, I freak out. Sometimes I have to like calm myself down. I'm like, no, like it's not always gonna like it's okay. It's gonna work out. But I have to soothe myself, man. I have to heal. I have to soothe my own inner child. Speaking better to myself. I kind of listen to what Sarah said, right? So when I get those like hard thoughts that are probably like similar to what my dad would say to me, like I'm like, no, it's okay. I'm not like, oh, you're stupid. You're crazy, blah, blah,
Yes, negative talk and all
so
those kind
I'm
of
working on it. I catch myself doing that, and I'm like, oh, wait, no.
I catch myself with it, too. Like, I'm still not fucking perfect after all of that stuff, and, like, living that other life, like, it's a trip, man. Like, just because you're healed from it now doesn't mean these things don't come up still.
In your nervous system, and, like, I'll find things to focus on. I'm like, okay, out of all the big things that have happened to me, I'm focusing on this. Like, this is really a thing, but why is it? But I'm, instead of looking like that, I'm like, wait, why is this thing? Why am I focused on this? Why is this triggering me more than this crazy shit that just happened? I'm like, there's something. So as I look deeper, as I observe it more, it's just like, oh, if I keep asking why is this bothering me? Why? And it helps to say it out loud sometimes. Look, you keep all that shit in your head. Look, I'm not saying talk to yourself in front of people, but sometimes to work on this inner child stuff, I have to say to myself, reassure, oh, it's okay. Oh, it's okay to feel this. Oh, it's going to be okay. Like, I literally have to do that to myself a lot. Because no one else is going to do it for me. It's no one else's job. And even a relationship I'm in, like, it's not that person's job either. It's not my parents. It's nobody's but mine now. So I have to do that to myself. I can't look for someone to do that for me. I have to do it to myself.
You have to speak it. It's like we have to speak. Like I got told I have to speak my truth unapologetically, right? Which I am a lot more. The change in the last, what are we in? Okay, so the change in the last 6 weeks for me has just been like roller coaster shit, man. You know, I just like I'm eccentric. I don't know. I'm crazy. I mean, people have to hold me. Like you can see, my band members trying to hold me back because I'm crazy. I'm dead set nuts. Right, I know that, but this is the thing. I'm crazy I've got the crazy thoughts like we all have, but they don't realize how much in control I am when I do things. Like you can see their face and go, but I think with what we're doing is really checking within ourselves of how we're really doing. And I think we're all doing such a wonderful job of where we're at. And, building, as Russell Brand says, it's one word that really triggers you off, whether it be worth, trust, peace of mind, I don't know, humility, whatever, that the ego is trying to stop us from having. And we should be living a nice, easy life in a lot of ways. But, we, as you said, you check yourself about everything. But that's what we do. We check ourselves and we do what we need to do. This is what This is what you go to do. But the thing is, those lessons will come up all the bloody time. And I just got myself a new job, and my God, I for the last couple of years, obviously, I've been in shit jobs. Yeah, if someone from there is watching, you heard it. If you have something to say to me, come and have a chat to me, and I'll tell you all about it. Speaking my truth, anyway. But I think all the work that you do and the calm and whatever else you do, or whatever you're doing to help yourself, attracts these great things. And I've got this job I'm in. My God, I couldn't ask for something more better. Boy, I got my passion for PE back. I knew I lost. Not that I lost it, but my God, this, wow. I mean, so your environment is just like wow. You know what I mean? But again, you got to put yourself out there. I got the opportunity. They always ask about things coming towards you. You deal with things as they come. You go with the flow. Go with the water. Accept for what it is. Be aware. And when the opportunity comes up, it's like you see a rock in the road. What do? You go left or right. That's fine. You make the decision on what it is because you've already got the knowledge, and not to step on that rock because it's going to bloody hurt. Whereas now you've got the knowledge and you can feel this too, man. This, I don't know. I'll say I think I talked to you girls during the week, the visions and the dreams I'm getting. My God, they're so vivid and they're so strong. I don't know whether it's a sign I'm getting more and more psychic. Well, my astrologer friend thinks we are, or well, I am, but I'm pretty sure it's happening to all the white lighters. This is the thing. We've got to go with the flow with what we feel. This is that you have to, and at the end of the day, we're going to be accepting of everyone. This is where it all is, and I think this is where we're controlling our own egos. But we have our egos in a way now that it's protecting us and protecting this beautiful thing we've all got. You know what I mean? Go, hang on a minute. We're going to we've done so much work, and you're attracting those good things, and also you're going with the flow. You're accepting what's happening. Forgiveness is big, but all those, and you bring in those words, and you actually embellish those thoughts and those feelings, and then they help you heal. I as I said, this is what's really got me in the last couple of days. So yeah, has anyone got any final thoughts on what we did? Because it's been another great chat.
Yeah, like just with the ego and everything, like with the full moon coming in the month of February, with the full moon in Leo. Just like really, my advice for the viewers, I guess, in this time of shifting and change is just check your ego. You know, ask yourself if you're doing things um, for validation, if you're doing things for other people, or to spike the opinions or interest of other people, as opposed to doing it for yourself and validating yourself, and just sort of check in with yourself as much as you can this month, and really see if what you're doing is ego based, by trying to find out whether everybody else is going to validate you or not, or whether you're okay with what you're doing, and just checking in and seeing, like, is this what I want? Is this what's making me happy? Do I resonate with the message that I'm putting out? Do I resonate with
Mm,
how I'm behaving? And if
Mm,
the answer is no, and you're doing it for the purpose of making other people see you or be happy or whatever it may be,
yeah.
check yourself and, just recalibrate a little bit and try to step out of the ego as much as you can this month. That's my advice.
have a healthy ego where if you want to go and do something for someone, you're doing it because you want to, and this is where you can feel the and ladies and gentlemen, you can feel the energy when you do that. Believe me,
Yeah.
we do things. You know when you do things for reward. We don't do it. And the Tao always says, don't do things for reward. Or a good leader and a good person will just do things for what they are, and then let it go and do it, and let it go and let it work itself out. What do you think, Diana?
Yeah, I would definitely say that. Look, ego is needed to drive us, right? So
Oh,
ego can
yeah.
be a good. It's not always a bad thing, but I think with what we're doing on the planet here, with our messages and stuff, if we're altering it even a little bit because we think people are gonna like it more if I do this or something, then we're not being authentic. So an ego is it's good to drive and everything to drive us, but kind of just balancing our ego with our heart space, like with what we're doing, like your message is important. Like I even started doing something on my channel, right, where I'm doing weekly intuitive messages, which was a little, I felt called to do it. It was a little outside my comfort zone. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I'm like, I'm not a medium, I'm not spiritual enough, I'm spiritual. Like, why do I had these weird things come up in my head that all those
Yeah.
limiting beliefs came up. And I was kind of looking at my views more, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of like, I usually don't put a thing that's titled that like that, but I felt called to do it because it is my intuitive message. And so that's just an example, but I did feel good after I do it, and I'm gonna keep doing it regardless of how people respond. Like, I felt good about it. I know I have a message that someone needs to hear, and someone did respond. They're like, wow, I really need that. So go along, like, people need your messages, and I think your original, like your download originally is good, but you don't need to alter it so much to make it fit to someone else's. Like, there's a reason you're having it. You might not know that I think what we said in the beginning, like, just go with it, let it flow, and you'll deal with. I like what Jay said earlier about you'll kind of deal with things as they come up. Like we get anxiety, we catastrophize things. I'm not even saying just with like content creation, with different things in
Mm,
our life,
yeah.
relationships.
Everything.
For me, it's like
Yep.
relationships. I'm like, I'll start putting things in the past like that happen. I'm like, oh, what if this happens? Oh, how's this gonna work out? Like, I'm just, the more I let go and just flow with it, and if something happens, I will deal with it when it comes up. And that's how I'm dealing with my anxiety now. Like, when it comes up, if it does, I mean, hopefully it's not a when, but if it does, I will deal with it. I have some coping skills. I have resources. If this happens, I'm okay. We don't need to catastrophize. It's not going to be a natural disaster. I mean, but in your head, you can build it up to be that way, right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's helped me a lot.
Guys, thank
Yeah.
you so much. Bit of rough stuff for me this morning, but it was
Thank you for getting on,
uh,
Jay, and putting on
Yeah,
your
thanks.
shades
oh no,
and
hey, I do my bit. No, it's not even thank you. I did it. It's just mate, so just the way it is. Anyway, we'll get over it. We're here, and my energy's pretty good now. I think I've had my issues, and whatever it is, the full moon flush, we'll call it. There you go. Okay,
There
enough
you go.
information. Anyway, I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you very much for tuning in for Life Theories. If you want to catch us more on YouTube, hashtag Life Theories as well on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can pick us up there. Diana is Trailblazer of the Universe. You can't miss her. She's everywhere. She's like, it's not Where's Wally. It's not Where's Diana. You can find her anywhere. So go Trailblazer of the Universe on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and every other platform, because that's where she is. And she does a wonderful job getting this Life Theories podcast up. I want to say a public thank you for all the work you do. Thank you so much. That's why I get up, because you do your bit, I'm doing my bit. And we've got our resident witch over here, small Sarah, big soul, Raven. I got it right, yay.
Yay.
Okay, trust me, she's got powers you don't. She doesn't even know she's got. My God, Anyway, small
Yeah,
Sarah, big
I'm learning.
Facebook, and God knows where else, and probably in some outer space, next level dimension, you'll probably find her as well.
I'm on TikTok and Instagram.
Anyway, and this is Jay from Australia, laying in bed like the rock star he is, because he probably had a big night. Hint, hint. Yes, it was a big night doing spiritual stuff, not playing guitar and being a clown. Anyway, I'm on WWHealth 2004 on Instagram, not on TikTok yet, but I will be. Facebook, jump on TikTok for the new recruits. I'm in a Village People band, and of course my rock band, and they're doing quite well. So, yeah, there you go. That's just the way it is. Anyway, signing off from Live Theories. Cortez Bedford will be back from Arkham Asylum, fighting Batman, fighting the Joker, and all that at some stage. He's on Spiritual Needs TV. Love you, brother. Okay, from my soul family, soul sisters, myself, we're signing off. Take care. Peace out. And I hope you have a great day. And make sure you be the best version of yourself. Take care. See you later.
Bye.
Like and subscribe.